Right, so let's take a look at this and review this ASCO made Maytag MAF 8705. I'm pretty sure it's that model number, but if not, it's probably correct in the title, above you on this video. I'm sure it's that. I've got the user manual anyway. Right, so let's take a look at it then. Well, like all ASCO, like many ASCOs, you have a drop-down door. And the entire thing is made of stainless steel. We've got a completely stainless steel body, so it should reduce on rust build-up, etc. Although it is still possible. Right, so this door isn't a locking door, it's just merely there to just simply cover the front round here. That being said, it's going to be pretty hard to lose things down here. Right, so we'll look at the top first then. So, turn it on, like this, and the first thing it will do is it will actually remember the previous settings for each program that you have used. So when you go on any of the programs, if you use, like on this occasion, we have selected the super quick wash program at 60 degrees and 7 rinses is selected, super rinse. So on that program it doesn't actually do 7 rinses, it does 4 with that option. Anyway, so we'll start off at the top. Top is nothing there, there's nothing, it doesn't do anything whatsoever. Program 1, there's a little plus icon here. Basically, this is the cotton normal length program with a pre-wash added, or heavy soil basically. So it will add on a 20-ish minute pre-wash at the start, and then we'll subsequently then do the main wash afterwards. Right, we'll start with the options that are available in this machine. Now we have variable temperature. So on programs 1 to 6, we have a variable temperature all the way up to 95 degrees. And on 7 and 8, we have a variable temperature of 0 to 40 degrees. 9 is rinse only, 10 is spin, and 11 is drain, so they don't have a temperature. But anyway, so we've got 70, 80, 95. CC is the incoming cold water. 30, 40, 50 and 60 degree options. We've also got a variable spin. Max spin on this is 1600 RPM, though when you first get the machine, double check because it's more than likely been preset at 1200 RPM. Like I said, this machine actually remembers the settings, so once you select 1600 RPM, it will always be 1600 RPM unless you change it and start a program with a lower spin, but then subsequently after that, then the lower spin is automatically pre-selected. A little annoying at times then, but quite good if you're commonly using the same options again and again. Right, so we've got variable option of spin of 16, no D means no drain. So it will carry on as normal but stop with the final rinse water. No, nothing means that all the intermediate spins is cut out on programs 1 to 3. And it will also end with just a drain, leaving clothes soaking wet. Then you've got 400 RPM, 600 RPM, 800 RPM, 1000 RPM, 1200 RPM, 1400 RPM and 1600 RPM. Right, we've also got time delay up to 24 hours in 1 hour steps. And we've got our 3 option buttons here, which are selectable pretty much with most. So first option, we've got 2 hours soak. It will do a 2 hour soak phase at the start of the cycle to soak stains, help remove them, make it easy to get rid of. which is actually selectable on all programs from 1 to 8. Obviously 9, 10, 11 won't have these options. E2 is economy. So what this does, it will add on 22 minutes whilst lowering the temperature to get the equivalent of that temperature selected. So at 60 degrees it will wash at about 40ish, at 95 degrees it will wash at about 60ish, etc. This is available only on programs 1, 2 and 3. 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 don't have this option. Then we got the 7 rinse button. So what this will do is increase the number of rinses from 3 to 7, but only on programs 1, 2 and 3. On programs 4 and 5 and 6 it will add on 2 rinses. Up in the rinse count from 3 to 5, except with 6 it will up the rinse count from 2 to 4. And like same again with 7 and 8, it will add on 2 rinses as well. Right, so program 2 is your normal length carton program. It's about just 1 hour 50-ish long depending on what temperature you're selecting. Then program 3 is light soil wash. So it's a normal cotton cycle only with a shorter main wash. So it's around 1 hour 20 depending what cycle you're selecting. Program 4 is synthetics. Max load from synthetics is only 3 kg or around half load. For 1, 2 and 3 the max load is 5 kg, just to let you know. Also with synthetics the final spin is limited to just 800 rpm. Program 5 is quick wash. You can still go up to 1600 rpm. You can wash up to a full load and is made for a full load of lightly soiled laundry. This will take around 1 hour, depending on what temperature you select. Then we've got super quick wash, which will take around 35 minutes roughly, and is made for a half load of 3 kg of lightly soiled laundry. Then we've got a wool program with a max temperature of just 40 and a max spin of 800 rpm. Is made for just a 2 kg load or roughly 1/3 of wool. Then you've got the silk program / delicates program, which again is made only for 2 kg and can go all is limited to 40 and limited to 800 rpm. Then we've got rinse and spin, and this is 1 rinse plus a final spin. You can't add on rinses, which is a little annoying considering you could probably push that button. They could have made it do that, and then you could have had 3 rinses in the final spin, but never mind. Spin only, which will spin anyway all the way up to 1600 rpm, and then drain only if you just want to drain the water out, say after rinse hold, for example. Right, to open the actual door, it's electronic. Push the key button, wait 3 seconds, hear a buzz, and it kind of flings it open slightly for you. Access the drum. We've got quite a big drum actually in this. Also, the drum paddles can be removed to retrieve items that may have got stuck behind the drum. For like socks, for example, and bra wires. At the bottom there we've got a filter flap. Inside the filter flap we've got a drain hose and the filter to take out. We've also got a manual door release behind there as well, in circumstances where there's no power to the door. Right, so we've got our detergent compartment here. We've got our program guide here to remind you of the cycles. We've got our fabric softener compartment, our pre-wash compartment, and our main wash compartment. You can remove and clean the drawer as well, which is actually quite easy to do. Right, so we're going to select program 2, 60 degrees. I'll just increase it to 1600 RPM. Stop. So the only other problem with this machine is that the time for the cycle doesn't come up until you hit start. That being said, I'm pretty sure it takes into account the actual incoming cold water temperature too. So it can creep up or lose minutes. Obviously, if you add options like the soak, eco or the super rinse function, it will add on time as well. Economy adds on 22 minutes, super rinse adds on about 19 minutes. It's incredibly economical to run in terms of water consumption and energy consumption as well. The Super Quick Wash, for example, will only use around 20-ish litres of water, which is really good. And a normal cotton cycle will use around 54 litres of water. Right, so let's have a look then. Smells okay. Never though. This is the thing. Like, now we've both washed this out quite a few times now, but it just seems to be like a very weird smell all the time from it. It's like being boiled out several times. So when it comes to giving it a full-on review of this, it's a bit hard to just say, really. Well, there's a few things I can say about it. The 1600 spin is extremely good because it's quite a long 1600 spin. And bear in mind this is a 1600 spin for 2004, so that's what we're comparing it to. Likely something like a WT. That wasn't really released at that point. Or WMA, which was poor in comparison, or services at the time as well, even. And thinking about that, it's basically closely related, since of course ASCO were owned by Maloney by that point. Washing ability wise, it's okay. And rinsing ability wise, if you just let normal 3 rinses, it can be a bit flim-flam because it doesn't really use that much water in the rinses. Selecting all 7, of course, really does improve the rinsing quality. Fabric softener does go on quite well, so it's not too bad in that sense. In terms of flexibility and programs, there's tons of it. But in terms of build quality, I don't know. I've heard complaints about like vibrating and all that, but this is barely vibrated at all. It's incredibly well built. The Quattro suspension really does do its job, so it doesn't actually bang about. Switch gear's all fine. It's really nice to push all the buttons. I'm comparing this to 2004. I mean, today's standards may be lacking a bit, but back then the feel of the buttons were actually very good. So I'm going to give this 8 out of 10. It's really weird, really, because my Azir ASCO 12,000 is extremely good for 1987, so it's a bit of an odd one, this.